How many packets of WaiWai do we sell again?
So globally, we are selling close to 3 billion now.
Yeah.
But that's only 3% of the world's market share, right?
Yeah.
But our growth rate is not bad. I mean, we've really now got close to 12 plants in India. We are expanding in Nepal with adding one more plant every 6 months to a year.
Mm-hmm.
We've got plants in Serbia catering to the European countries. We've got Kazakhstan for Central Asia.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a plant coming up in Egypt for North Africa and Egypt. We're looking at Latin America now. Our growth rate's not bad. So, our aspirations are much bigger than what we're doing right now.
3 crore, right? That's the population of Nepal, right? Imagine everybody at the end of the day has your SIM. That's what I've been thinking of, because since you mentioned Jio, I just want to talk about this for just a second. Imagine everybody, 76% of Nepali people have smartphones, right? 76%. Imagine the data and the information and that they can get in a split second if everybody has faster internet. I just want to touch bases on this. If the telecom comes, then that's definitely going to increase and people are going to get data and information right away. I don't know why we still don't have it.
5G ready network. 5G is here.
It's already here?
It's already being launched.
Tied up with Huawei, right?
Not really. We're not tied up
okay.
with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Our FTTH was rolled out by Nokia. We'll probably do it with other vendors going forward.
Okay.
We've not tied up with anyone. We were exploring to tie up with Huawei at that time, for sure. They might again do it with them, but we've not tied up. I mean, we don't want to count the chickens before they're hatched, And but again, technology is advanced to such a level. And sometimes we always feel it's a blessing in disguise. That imagine if we did it 2 years ago, we would start up with a 4G network, but supplying mainly 3G. World's already moved to 5G.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. We're not giving up our dreams and our hopes. Let the license come, we'll come with a 5G ready network. 5G ready network, that's another 1 hour show for you.
Transform the country in the span.
Think about it. Think about these. What 5G ready network does. You can be sitting here in your studio. If you are a specialized expert in cardiology, you've got your computer and your equipment here. Someone's sitting in Dharanlura or in Mount Everest base camp and they have the equipment there. On a latency delay of 0.0001%, 1 second, you can do your operation using connected on 5G. That's the speed level.
And we can bring it right now.
It's already there worldwide. It's already there in our neighboring countries. They've already rolled out. When is it going to come to Nepal? I don't know. I hope it comes fast, man. I really hope it comes. Because, it's one thing is us starting this telecom company, which is painful enough. But even what's more painful is knowing that people out there are not getting the right technology in their hands. Right? They're not getting the right tariffs in their hands. They're not paying for, they're overpaying for a value they're not getting. That's what irritates me the most. Sell telecom services, but sell it at a price that is affordable. That you can compete with, if not globally, even regionally, there can be some benchmarking.
Yeah. How does it feel to hang out with billionaires? I want to talk about this out of the blue. How does it feel to meet Bill Gates? How does it feel to meet Warren Buffett? How does it feel to meet Jack Ma and just have a conversation with him and talk about, I don't know, what do you talk about? How does it go? Hey, how are you? Or how does it go?
So, firstly, I must correct you. I like spending time with more than someone with $1 billion in their bank. I love spending time and meeting people who've touched 1 billion hearts. Okay. You took example of Bill Gates and his ex-wife, Melinda Gates, right? Who I just really, really am fond of. And we've spent some time. She's known as a eternal optimist in the Gates Foundation, right? Okay. And she's like, she just from the heart wants to solve every problem and she's got the capacity to do it. And I'm like that in a lot of ways. But when I meet someone like that, I mean, I'm in a different realm altogether in my mind and my energy that, gosh, what all can I do in my country? Yeah. And the things I learn from them during the few hours or days or over a period of time in my lifetime, I go back with so much of learning in my life. I mean, there's nothing I want from them, right? Yeah. It's the learning that I've got. Same case of Jack or with anyone else. I mean, Mr. Jack Ma, again, I really feel myself, I'm blessed that I always get to meet amazing people who made transformational differences in everyone's lives globally. What do I learn? What conversation do I have with them? I just pick on their brains. It's like a little student looking at the professor and asking questions. But these are questions relating not about geometry or about a math problem. It's a question relating about world problem. It's a question relating about how do you tackle, innovation? How do you tackle HR? And, they're always so kind in sharing their experiences. And to me, that is priceless.
Yeah. That, no shadow of a doubt on that. I want to jump right away into Bolio Nepal. Bolio Nepal initiative, fantastic initiative. Loved it. I'm a part of it as well. Let's tell everybody what exactly it is.
So, Sanjay, I want to share with you something of how Bolio Nepal even came up, right?
Yeah.
So, 2010, I'm not even going to go that far. 2010 to 2015, till that time, we're driven by this entire thing in our head that we want to take Nepal to the world. We want to expand, put our Nepal flag, every country that we expand to. If all the international companies can come to Nepal, why can't a Nepali company go?
Yeah.
All our companies or our factories are being headed by people from our country.
Yeah.
We have the adequate expertise, manpower, the know-how, and the innovative skills.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in 2015, we had so that's what we were driven by. 2015, we had an earthquake in Nepal. Okay. Catastrophic earthquake that took lives of 8,000 people, almost 10,000 people, 700,000 homes damaged or destroyed, 3 million kids left without classrooms, okay, without schools. In 2015, my father, my brother, my family, all of us decided, let's see what we can do through our foundation. Because before that, our foundation was doing a lot of work with Professor Yunus in impact investment, education, health, etc., right? We wanted to really test ourselves as an organization, as a CG family, what we could do. When I say family, means just not my relatives, but when every employee of CG we consider as CG family, right? 3 hours of the earthquake, we were able to open up our 15 schools into relief camps. An hour after that, we could ask our healthcare company to provide medical relief, not only here, but to areas that were affected. 15 days of the earthquake on the move, when earthquake was happening, we were able to design, get in the right know-how, design, build the first transitional shelter and give it away. 1 year, almost 3,000 homes given free, 55 schools, 22 digital classrooms, 20 water treatment plants. We rebuilt a completely new village with permanent homes in Sindhu Palchok, adding community centers, all of that, and trained 7,000 people in 1 year. That instance changed all our lives.
True.
Okay. Now our purpose for the growth we want to bring in our group became how the more you become, more bigger you become, the more you can do for your country. The more you can give back to your community.
True.
The more you can leverage through the power of your infrastructure and network and the people and what you have. That's why today, whenever we're doing some philanthropic activities, and I'm very passionate about our foundation work, we get into the drawing board. I'm like, okay, this year, 6 areas. Let's focus on that. But it doesn't happen because 9 out of 10 times when people come to ask for help or we see a problem, we feel that our company or our organization or people can tackle that.
Yeah.
So we go ahead and do it. That's why today, the 17 SDGs that you have, Sustainable Development Goals, our company is involved in all the SDGs. Right? Like Harvard Business School has done a case study on us. And that sort of gives us that thing that, oh man, we must be doing something right. But we're just scratching the surface. We've got to do so much more. So when I was spending time with Bill Gates and Ms. Melinda Gates in Seattle, we were trying to explore things, what all we could do. Okay, from their know-how, from their learning experience, from areas where they've tackled and become successful. They've been very successful in eradicating polio in Africa, etc., worldwide. Yeah. What can we do here? And then we realized, you know what? Let's start small, think big. Let's focus on an awareness campaign involving private sector for addressing the stunting issue that exists in women. Right? So we're always looking at the future.
Always.
So imagine if a pregnant woman does not get adequate nutrition in her body during the stage of pregnancy, the child that she gives birth to, becomes a child who does not have the adequate nutrients to become wiser, taller, stronger, more effective. And that has a direct impact on our country in a longer run. Correct?
100%.
So if we were to come up with products that let's say, especially the women already are consuming, eggs, Lito for the kids, or we were exploring different type of products. If we were to work with private sector companies and to be able to tell them, hey, why don't you please work towards, we'll help you, we'll get world-class experts to help you to fortify those products with extra calcium, vitamins, minerals, etc. And if you were to give that to the newborn child or the mother, you'll help in the nutritional value consumption of the intake, right?
Yeah.
So then companies started to join in this initiative.
A lot of companies joined into the initiative.
Yeah, few companies, but still, we've got to make it into a national campaign. Yeah. How do we make a national campaign? By inviting heroes like yourself. Your voice matters. Your voice is heard by many people who, even if they're not able to make a difference today, they start becoming aware of the problem. Maybe tomorrow they will start doing something which will be part of the solution. So that's what Balio Nepal is all about. But we're very happy that we got into an incubation handholding stage, and we have completely now made it independent. It's running well. They've done some really good programs in Province 4. We started supporting a lot of the Balio 11 cricket initiatives. So that program is something we conceptualized, initiated with the Gates Foundation, and it's become independent, and it's taking off well now.
When it comes to changing the world, right? Changing the country. Earlier you mentioned something that I want to get back on, putting Nepal's flag everywhere. I still remember a new hotel, and then I've Rahul Dai's picture with looking up on Nepal's flag right there. It is a moment not just for CG, not just for you. It's a moment for all of us. I feel like, okay, Nepal's reaching everywhere. How does it feel when you're in a different country and you put up Nepal's flag right there? How does it feel? What goes through your mind at that moment?
So, all that hard work you've done for setting up the plant or acquiring a company or identifying a new business opportunity or whatever the opportunity is, whatever hard work you've done of setting up that infrastructure, putting a team together, you see that flag, you feel your returns come immediately. You feel that, okay, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm content. It's such an amazing feeling. You're seeing the biggest countries' flags there, the countries where we are there, their flags there, and suddenly you see Nepal's flag there. You're like, wow, man. And something I feel so proud about is, we've got a huge diaspora of people from Nepal in the GCC. Sometimes when I'm in Dubai and I'm just entering the hotel and I see, some Nepalese people coming there, and on a weekend, they just come all the way there, just take that selfie with that flag there. It's just, I just go to them and I talk to them and I'm like, wow, how do you guys feel? And they're like, same thing what you said. Yeah. You might have built this hotel, but with this flag, it's something which a Nepali has done it. It's a feeling of, they can go to their peer group friends from Pakistan or India or Bangladesh and say, you see that?
Yeah.
That's built. That's a Nepal flag there. That's a matter of pride, man.
It is. And again, every time I see it, I feel like a part of me is right there. That is very, very important. Again, like I said, there are thousands of things that I want to sit and talk to about. There's one thing that stuck to me. A few days back, we were doing a podcast and we talked about made in Nepal or make in Nepal. That is so important. Some months ago, I was in the import building that we have, the cargo building there. The import side is full of packets, full of packages, shit ton of packages, everywhere, When we go towards the export side, there's barely anything. How do we change it? What should we produce more?
So, Sanjay, this entire Make in Nepal as a campaign, I'm so happy that I'm part of an organization, CNI, Confederation of Nepalese Industries, that have actually conceptualized the entire Make in Nepal campaign. I've got it endorsed by the government now, and now are urging private companies and small and medium enterprises, all of them to adopt the logo, adopt the the criteria for becoming part of it, so that a larger level national campaign is done, right? So first part is awareness. First part is ideating it, which goes into conceptualization, which goes into launch. That is already done. Now goes into implementing that idea and that logo, okay, in your product, and getting that feel of, okay, I have met with these criteria and I can put that Make in Nepal logo.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether it's issues got to do with the environment, the way you treat your laborers, there's a whole lot of criteria. Make in Nepal is just not because it's made in Nepal, you can put a logo. No. Make in Nepal logo stands for a lot of things. It stands for best practices globally. It stands for best environmental practices you do globally. It stands for best industrial environment that you create globally. It's a set of benchmark that's been created, right? So I'm really proud of the fact that I've been part of this initiative. Number two, you see, every country is born with an inherent strength. Okay, let me share with you a little joke.
Yeah.
Okay, so the gods were making all the countries in the world.
Yeah.
And the main god and said, Nepal se maune banauchu.
Oh.
So he went and he said, I'll put the most majestic mountains in this country. I will cover it up with 70% of natural resources. I will make Lord Buddha be born here. Okay. I will put it between the two big, giant, populated countries. I'm going to have hundreds of rivers flowing for hydropower. He was going on and other gods were like, hey, hold on, man. What are you doing? If you give everything to Nepal, what are you going to give the other countries? He said, don't worry, man. I'm going to make sure I'm going to keep some characters over there. I'm going to make sure nothing functions there as well. Yeah. So I feel that we are inherently blessed by a lot of natural resources and natural strengths, right? Inherent strengths. We just need to capitalize that. You look at a country like Switzerland. Very similar in terms of topography, majestic mountains, valleys, etc. It's at a different level because it's got a strong leadership with a long-term, larger vision who are able to do it. Look at Singapore. What is the population of Singapore? Like 6 million?
That's about it.
Okay. But Singapore was a country which Malaysians said that, okay, guys, you please do your own stuff. That was probably the only country who didn't get captured but were asked to sort of be independent. When Lee Kuan Yew went to Sri Lanka, he said, I want to make Singapore like Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka has its own story of getting into a civil war, but look where Singapore is today. Look where some of the most successful countries are today. Okay? There are two aspects of, when I talk to you about Singapore, who do you think of? Lee Kuan Yew, right? When I think of Malaysia, who do you think of? Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, right? Or when I talk about other countries,
there's always somebody specific that we think of
that has really turned around.
And
you can think of a lot of names with the different countries, right? But when I talk about Japan, who can you think of?
Right now, when I think of when you talk about Japan, again after World War II, I think about somebody after World War II.
Pretty much no one. Why? Because in Japan, every single individual has a feeling of nationalism that I got to do something.
It's so clean. It's so clean. I think
so.
Of that.
Either all of us individually, and I'm sure to a large extent, and especially I'm happy that the new generation has that, right? They have that feeling that, oh man, I need to do something for my country. I'm seeing that. I'm talking to younger generation. I'm getting that feeling. But if we really want to put Nepal on that map and to change that balance, what you just talked about from import to export, you need the right leader who understands the inherent strength, potential, and who can execute those plans effectively and efficiently.
If you love what we are doing, make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications.
This program is brought to you by Vyas Studios.